Hey guys, check this out. This is the city of Tampa in Florida, and this happens to be where I live most of the time. It's a rather interesting city, but I can't wait to get out of it. So we are going to set my camera down now, and I'm going to talk to you. As I fall backwards awkwardly, this is not running as smoothly as I thought. I guess I should kind of explain why this is so long and kind of unedited. My computer decided that it was going to attack and crash on me, so I'm stuck with like single shots until I can get my software back again. So here we go. I decided I would film outside because I don't see many videos on hot pieces of vase filmed outside. So yeah, scenery to make up for lack of editing. So who am I? My name's Victoria, and I am one of 3 new additions to Hot Pieces of Vase, which is really, really flattering and exciting, and I'm super looking forward to posting here every week. As far as who I am a bit of a musician. I like instruments. I listen to a lot of music from everywhere. I'm also very big on nostalgia, and I really like Jack Skellington. But this video is not so much about that as it is asexuality. So I'm going to tell you a bit about my experience with asexuality and kind of how I found out about it. And it really kind of starts back when I was in the 7th grade. And this was actually by complete accident. There was a girl in school who had liked me, and she wasn't sure if I was one of the cool kids who was bisexual or not. So she went to my friend Hannah and asked her what my sexual orientation was. And my friend Hannah decided that I was asexual. Basically, she said to her, Victoria doesn't really date, I guess she's asexual. And I'm sure she wasn't being completely serious, but it kind of got taken very seriously. And before I knew it, most of the school thought I was asexual. And of course, being the age that I was like, no, I'm not SpongeBob. I'm not asexual. And I kind of just told everybody that, and it went away for a little while. Then I came to high school, where things started to get incredibly complicated. I was confused about what my actual orientation was to begin with, but high school just made it so much worse. I actually just came back from there, hence the reason why I have my book bag. I always love coming up here after school. Basically, I entered into high school with this absolutely terrible misconception about sexuality. I was under the impression that teens in high school weren't really interested in sex because I wasn't. And I figured if people were having sex in high school, they did it because it was cool, because they wanted to be mature, or because it was hardcore. But that was a very bad misconception, because I was also under the impression that they all just got around, and that was very true. So I eventually found out through many sources that it was normal, and I just thought, okay, I'm a little bit different. Then when it came to the topic of relationships, I've been single basically, actually, my entire life. I mean, it's pretty cool, I don't mind. But when I would adopt crushes, or as I called them, curiosities, because they really resembled more of a curiosity than a, oh my god, I'm gushing over you kind of thing, I would realize that I would grow absolutely infatuated with these people, and I would just, my day wouldn't be complete without talking to them for like maybe a month and a couple of weeks. But then I would eventually get over them and feel really confused and realize, okay, I just want to be platonic. And I figured, okay, this is cool, they're just not the right people, that's a little strange. But finally, I started to get incredibly suspicious about my orientation when I met somebody who actually showed interest in me, who in theory would have been great. You know, that kind, understanding, cute, a little bit charming person. Except when it came to considering a relationship, I realized that we had completely different ideas in mind. They wanted to do things like kiss, cuddle, touch, feel, a lot of things that I find incredibly unappealing and uncomfortable. Meanwhile, I was under the impression that a relationship was kind of like, let's hold hands and bake cookies and watch Tim Burton films. And I kind of reacted very badly to that situation and have been avoiding them since for that and many other reasons. But I talked to my friends about this and I explained how I felt about it. They thought it was incredibly strange, and they said that wasn't very normal, and actually it was very abnormal. And the same also went for when I would describe to people that I wanted to be in relationships with people, but I didn't necessarily want to kiss them 24/7 or do this and that, etc., etc. And at that point, after being told by so many people that that was just weird, I felt very broken. And I decided, okay, I'm broken, that's cool, I don't care. However, then one fateful day, I was on Wikipedia, because I'm always on Wikipedia, and I discovered this thing called asexuality. And I was reading up on it, and I was incredibly skeptical about it. I'm like, asexuality, isn't that what plants do? They cut off their limbs and they reproduce? People can be like that? Can I cut off my own arm and do that? No. But as I was reading about it, and I read that they're romantic, asexual, aromantic, it really intrigued me, and I started to realize that what I was reading was very, very, almost exactly accurate to who I was. And then I went through a sort of period of denial where I thought this couldn't be me because it's such a small population, and eventually I came to the conclusion that I was just going to accept it, and it was me. And here we are today. As far as being out, I am out to the majority of my friends. I don't really come out randomly and say, hey, I have to tell you something. I only did that with my one friend Hannah because I was just so desperate to tell somebody. But most of them, it just comes up in conversation. I'm not really out to any of my family members. I recently came out to my grandma's because after finding out that I had this opportunity to make these videos, I had to tell her because she knows about everything I do artistically with videos and music and everything, and I couldn't leave this out. And I trust her more than I trust just about anybody, and she took it fantastically, so all is very well. So yeah, I mean, that's about it. I like ties, and I'm not very practical when it comes to dress because it's 80 something degrees out and I'm sweating, and this kind of really bombs. I wasn't expecting it to be so hot today. And once again, I'm really sorry for the lack of editing. Hopefully my computer will be fixed and up and running by next week, and if not, then I'll figure out some way to make Vegas Pro work on my small resolution netbook screen. And yeah, that's about it. So, à tout à l'heure, until next week. Tschüss!